John, when will Nico make his first start for Tennessee? What say you? And then I'll go to Caleb.
I don't know the date on this game. You got a schedule in front of you? I will say UConn.
Wow. That's a couple games away there, John.
It's November, I think.
Yes.
November. I mean, you got to go play South Carolina. I'm sorry.
So you're going to wait till the gauntlet of the SEC just terrorizes Tennessee and destroys them, and then they throw their hands up for the season?
Yes.
Okay.
That's pretty much it, Cal. You read my mind and Joe Milton's mind.
This is not difficult.
I'm going the bowl game. I'm going the bowl game. And the reason I'm going the bowl game is they're not going to bench Milton. Milton's going to opt out at the end of the year to focus on the NFL draft and try to be next year's Anthony Richardson with his arm. And so they're going to start Nico in the bowl game. I don't think they want to start Nico. And I've said this from the start. You throw Nico out there now, you might give him a permanent career-ending injury because he just ain't big enough. And the offensive line is questionable, and you're facing SEC defensive linemen. So I think it's terrible for Nico and the future of Tennessee to throw him out there right now.
Guys, it's going to be against the Mighty Mocs. And as Papa J says, smash that like button. It's going to be against the Mighty Mocs, the first game of 2024. And I'm sharing that based off every indication that I have gotten from my sources that this staff loves Joe Milton. As one person told me, they are not going to make a change barring an injury. It's just not going to happen. So I do not think that will be the case. Now, could he throw 4 interceptions in 3 straight games? Yes. But I think what you're going to see is you're going to see Tennessee not have the explosiveness down the field, average 6 yards per attempt as opposed to 8.5 they did last year. And they're going to kind of middle a little bit. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to middle on their schedule. They could still win a lot of games. But I do believe that there's serious concerns, as Caleb mentioned, about Nico's size. And but more than that, even, I think they are in love with Joe Milton. And it's like Jeff Gordon stepping up and seeing the best race car that Hendrick can provide, and then my wife's Altima. Yeah, not to say that Nico's an Altima, but I think that Josh Heupel is in love with the physical ability of Joe Milton. And John, I don't think that's going to change anytime soon.
Well, I can understand their concern about that, but I go back to 1994 when Peyton Manning became the starter. He was very thin. He did not have the build that he had when he left Tennessee. He had kind of a high school body, and I wondered at the time, how would he hold up when he got hit? Well, he didn't get hit that much, for one thing. But I think...
Now, to Caleb's defense, that was a very good offensive line. Tennessee does not have a very good offensive line.
Yeah, they were behind Jason Lehman and Kevin Mays and Bubba Miller. Wasn't he on that team? Bubba Miller was the defensive line, wasn't he?
The 94 team did not have a great offensive line.
Well, like 3 of those starters went on to the NFL. Because the 95 team, at least, Jay Graham set the rushing record in 95 behind that offensive line.
I know. But in 94, they struggled offensively at times. And I just think I'm a big believer in talent prevails over everything else. And I also believe somebody really talented, that what you see in practice isn't always what you get in a game, that really talented athletes can rise to the occasion. And when they get that shot, they make the most of it. So I'm not saying they should play Nico right now, but I'm just wondering the way this season might go. At some point, you can't be afraid to play Nico. I mean, how good's the offensive line going to be next year? You think this offensive line is struggling? Wait till next year.
Yeah, they need at least 2 significant transfer portal guys.
I'd go for 5.
Yeah, and 5 would be good. 3, I mean, my goal would be 3. And John, you brought up a good point that I don't want to get too sidetracked on here. I'll remind everybody that this portion of the program is brought to you by Zen Sports. Zen Sports, the new sports book in Tennessee, revolutionizing the way you earn sports betting rewards. That means no more deposit bonuses that turn into deposit nightmares. On Zen Sports, what you see is what you get. And with their cash rewards program, you get a lot of cash for a welcome bonus. Earn an unlimited 5% cash back on your betting volume for your first 15 days when you sign up with promo code HOOKED. That's HOOKED. Unlimited 5% cash back. Download the app, use HOOKED. Keep betting and keep earning with up to 3% cash back on your betting volume every month. After that, refer friends to earn a percentage of their betting volume as cash rewards too. Zen Sports is bringing the cash back to Tennessee. So if you bet big on sports, you want to be betting on Zen Sports. Zen Sports betting just got better. John, you brought up a good point last night. We'll let you out of here. And that was Tennessee needs to be taking guys from smaller programs. And I think McAllen Castles is a good example of that have proven they're too good for that level and they're hungry, as opposed to guys that may be cast-offs from other programs, a la Dante Thornton. While we all think Keenan Pilley would have been very good, we don't know. And the rest of the guys that they've had in transfer portal guys have either gotten suspended, beat really bad on the edge, or not been nearly as good as we were led to believe.
Yeah, I go back to last season when Billy Napier went from Louisiana to Florida. Osiris Torrance, offensive guard, went with him, and he was a 2-time all-conference player at Louisiana, and he moved over to Florida and continued to elevate his game, became an NFL draft pick. I like those guys because people that are productive at a lower level, linebackers who make a lot of tackles, receivers who make a lot of catches. You feel as though they're motivated. If they have to make that decision to go to a higher level of play, that tells me they believe they can. They're confident and they're very ambitious. Those are the kind of guys I like, as opposed. Now, if you can get a guy who's a proven player with a Power 5 conference school, sure. But if you get guys that are kind of shaky, you're not certain of, you're more hopeful of what they might become, I would go the other route.